Hello and welcome to Be Powerful with Liz and Lee. It's a new day and we're so glad you're here.
So you can expect to hear candid conversations on what it means to be powerful. Live authentically, live in the midst of ups and downs, productively, and above all else, joyfully.
We are so thankful for you, our community of listeners, and we hope you enjoy today's show. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Lee.
Will you be my Valentine?
Yes, I will. In that sweater, you look great.
Thanks. I kind of stole this out of your closet.
Yeah, I know. No, I wasn't even going to bring that up. I like your little ruffly thing underneath it. So if you're watching on YouTube, she's wearing a House of Jade Sky, right?
Oh, yeah. Our girl Marissa.
Our girl Marissa has got some talent.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a white sweater with red hearts if you're not listening. And you look lovely yourself.
Well, thank you. I'm wearing a tank top and a blanket because I'm cold. It's really a shawl thing. But,
and I'm already sweating. So
yeah, I know. This is the
right
perfect situation.
I know.
We're right where we're supposed to be.
So did you say yes that you'll be my Valentine? Do you want me to ask you? Like, how is this going to work?
I want you to, I will be your Valentine. You did ask. Oh, am I supposed to ask back?
I mean, only if you want.
Oh, okay. Well, really? Will you be my Valentine?
Sure thing.
Oh. You know, I remember the boxes and all those sort of things.
Right. They're the best.
Don't you kind of miss that?
Yeah.
You want to make a box?
Adult Valentine's boxes?
Oh, we could really put some fun things in that, right?
We could put it at the studio and let people drop it in.
Yeah.
Or on your front yard. What do you want to do?
We could on the front porch. Yes.
Do we need some shoe boxes?
Yes, we do. Maybe we need to cut that hole in it, and then we need to decorate it with all those, satiny hearts and all those things. And what they don't sell anymore are those little Valentines that come, or do they? The ones that come in the pack, and there's like 25 of them, or maybe there's 35, just enough for one school class. And I would pick.
They do still have those.
The best ones out for my.
I don't know what's trending right now.
Friends.
I guess I need to go to Target and see what the Valentines are.
You know, if it's going to be trending, it's going to be at Target.
Oh my gosh! Yes, this is coming out. I guess the few days before Valentine's. So I hope everybody's feeling the love and having fun in February.
We will be having some real love during that time. I hope.
We'll be on the road for you to do a show.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's going to be on, is it on the 14th or is the 15th?
You film on the 15th.
Yeah. Okay. So that's exciting. We'll share that with you guys once it's done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, it will be great.
Yes. I'm excited. What's the name of it?
I was about to say maybe not the same as the Tamron Hall show, but it'll be great.
Right. I can't wait. And we'll tell you all about it.
When you know what you're doing.
When I know what I'm doing. And I can remember where I'm going.
Right.
And it's in New York. That's where I do know. I know that I'm going to fly into New York and you're going to be with me.
That's right.
And I had to once again pull her off the floor in the studio and everything feels like it's going to collapse when that happens.
Oh, it's fine. The next day, though, we're going to Jersey.
Yes, we are. That's right. It's filming in Newark.
We should.
Or close to that.
No,
it's in Jersey. You're right.
You're good.
Just be quiet.
I'll take you. That's why I'm going on this trip.
Going.
That's why I'm going with you. It's like I'm your personal escort.
No, you act like you're my keeper. And
act. I just am, and you need me.
I do need you. That's very true. I need you in every way.
No, I've enabled you.
Yes,
that's true.
That's true.
I have.
I mean, if somebody just takes care of you, you're just going to go, yeah, this feels really good. This feels
really good.
Yeah.
Is that why you didn't eat any food this weekend and we're just drunk and hungover the whole time?
God, I know. You know, when you're gone, it is kind of tough. I was here with no apples. I mean...
Y'all,
it's literally the way I
listen to what you're saying.
I know where the grocery store are. I know where the grocery store. Yes, and I could have gone at any point.
You could,
but I woke up 2 separate mornings with no apples. So I made my smoothie. Yay!
Good for you.
Drank a bunch of coffee, and then yesterday. Well, anyway, we won't go into
it. But you had a great time.
I had a big time, and
your problem is among many. You don't drink water.
Well, I was out.
They don't have water out. There's no
I was out and about, and
that's your whole rule.
I'm a bit dehydrated today.
When you are teaching others, about how to behave responsibly.
Nutritionally and all
yes,
those sort of
then
things.
you'll always say one drink, one glass of water.
Absolutely.
So you just don't practice what you preach.
I was in this movie theater and I forgot to buy the water at the concession stand.
And if I'd gone, I would have gotten you a bottle of water.
Yeah, but you didn't. See? It's your fault.
I know.
So
I'm aware.
Yeah. So here I sit, a bit kind of hungover, right?
There you go.
Just let's go with it,
You look good though.
Yeah. Well,
you did pretty good at the workout today too.
Yeah. Oh, that was tough. That was rough today. But yeah, thank you very much. And there are days like this, and we're just going to podcast right on through
it. I think we should say hello to some of our new friends who we have seen joining us on YouTube and on your Instagram. After we leave New York, New Jersey, we should just fly over to Madrid, Spain.
Madrid, yes. What a really wonderful welcome. Y'all have been the people from Spain have been all over our social media and commenting on, was it YouTube they said some things on? And they read an article I was invited to.
They like the country of Spain?
I've been to Spain. I've never been to Madrid. And El Mundo, where the article, it was an interview they did with me. She was so incredible. And the woman from there was beautifully writing English questions that I, wrote back. And I felt just so amazed at how, welcoming, and they were curious about not only, I think it started with our relationship.
Sure.
Maybe, everything seems to start with people reading about that, but then they really went into the workout and wanted to know all about the workout, which is really fun because
I know,
now we've got streamers coming in from Spain, and I'm assuming they can all really understand our English.
I hope so, because I was going to say we are the most unilateral.
Yeah, we really are.
Unilingual, excuse me. Also that, unilingual.
Yeah.
I tried to speak French on a trip. I was so proud of myself.
Yeah,
I studied.
You were intimidated.
And no, what happened is I've probably said this here before. I started speaking in French to someone and he answered in English. Yeah, I was so defeated. I'll never try again.
You can't let that first go, stop you though. You got to go straight in hard.
Yeah.
And then you go in with the next sentence. So I know none of it. I know no Spanish. I know no French, but you were speaking it to me all the way over. on the plane ride, and then you got there and you froze up.
Stage fright.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get to try again. But
yes.
But thanks and welcome to all our Spanish visitors.
Yes, our international podcast now. I'm really excited. We really do have a international following already at Hilliard Studio Method on our streaming, but I really like some of the private, personal messages I've gotten on Instagram and social media. That is just really warm and welcoming people from Spain. So I can't wait to come to Madrid.
The community grows. I think I'm going to have to if you're not going to just drink yourself under the table.
No, I just got to remember where the water is.
Yeah, it's easy.
It's the water.
You got this.
You know the rules, and I know the rules. I am good at telling the rules, but when it came yesterday to following them, for every drink, which by the way, the newest, every couple of years, the new guidelines for alcohol change. Well, the new one says that women should either not drink at all or have no more than one drink during any course of the day.
I think we know it's not really like yesterday. A nutrient.
But so, while you're trying to work your way through, and I'm really a very good drinker. I don't ever drink to get drunk. I just don't like that feeling. And so I've never really had an issue with it. But yesterday I forgot to drink my water, and I can feel it today. So every alcoholic drink, have a full drink of 8 ounces of water. That's my rule that I just totally blanked on.
Anyway. Yeah, I think that should help everybody who fell off the wagon after doing that restrictive dry January.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people did that, and it was good for them. A lot of people
good.
said, that was really great. And now they don't like to drink as much as they did.
I think that's good,
which is great. So
yeah, if you need more tips, go back to the Molly Ruggiero podcast we did.
She was great.
December.
Yeah.
I can hear you. You're asking yourself, should I get a spray tan for that? For that beach trip? For that event? For that dress? That top? Ooh, Valentine's Day? For the fact that I've been working out and look so good, and unlike my white pale skin, I'm speaking personally for myself, to look a little more glowy. We have got the deal for you, y'all. We love No Shade Spray Tan, and our girl Holly there, who just comes to the house, does a custom color, one for Liz, one for me. We're different. Sprays us 5 minutes, dry off, clean up, go. You look amazing for about a week. It is just so good. It makes your skin feel good. It just gives you a little pep in your step. You'll be ready for whatever it is you have going on. So the deal that Holly's given us, because y'all are all big fans last time we had this advertisement on the podcast, she's decided to give you $10 off your next spray tan. So when you go to her website, noshadespraytan.com, I want you to enter the code NOSHADE at checkout, NOSHADE, for $10 off your next spray tan. It's as easy as can be. You'll love it. You'll become a big fan. You won't feel weird standing completely naked in front of Holly because she makes you feel so comfortable. She's so professional and her color is amazing. So you're welcome. All right. Well, what else is new with you, my friend?
Well,
my friend.
Hey,
buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
We could challenge a little bit more on the nutritional front, because
Sure.
we were talking today in the book that I wrote a couple of years ago. I have a whole thing about not eating any sugar at all.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do a no sugar challenge, but we're only going to do it for 1 week, and that's going to come up in March. And what we're going to ask you to do is, it's not restrictive. I don't eat sugar anyway, except yesterday, all that alcohol turned to sugar in my body, and now I feel it, which is what happens. You have to know that about alcohol. That's, even if you're restricting yourself away from sugar, you're not going to be scot-free if you have a glass of wine. Anywho, so we're going to do a 1 week challenge with the ending part, or the beginning part,
Right.
with Sarah Stevens, who is one of the trainers at Stevenson. Sorry, Sarah. Who's one of our trainers at Hilliard Studio Method. And she's a nutritionist and coach, and she's going to be in the studio talking about not only healthy eating and not sugar, but most is about how to have a really good, balanced, nutritional daily diet.
Sure.
And also enjoy it. So,
Right.
Which is
So look forward to that. I mean, I think that's a big piece of the puzzle. Obviously, we promote movement and obviously a well-balanced lifestyle. And sometimes, you just need reminders and accountability to think about the foods you're eating, why you're eating it, when you're eating it, how to fuel yourself. And sometimes it's really simple and you just need a reminder. And sometimes it's not so intuitive.
Right.
And you need some help. So we've got a great resource, and that will be upcoming.
We do. We've got a lot of things in the studio coming up. We're actually going to have an afternoon where we have a woman working with sound, like healing sounds and sound bowls. If you've never heard of anything like this, we got a little taste of that when we were in Sedona a few weeks back. I mean, the
sound bowls?
The sound healing sound. We were there where the guy was on
with the flute?
Reiki flute.
Right.
So these healing sounds that resonate within the body are really, they're legit. And so we have a lady coming in who I'm going to meet with next week, and we're going to plan a date in March. I believe it's going to be March 4th. We're going to find out. Yeah.
Oh, and tonight at the studio is date night, by the way. If anybody's listening to this first
right.
thing in the morning and wants to go tonight.
That's right.
Bring your partner.
Yes.
Have a good time.
Yes, that's going to be fun. We haven't done that in a long time.
I know, it's great.
Yeah, and this is a good time, whoever your partner is, but especially if it's a man. I love
you mean like watching the men come do the workout?
No, I love men. We were talking to someone about that this weekend, weren't we? About how, somebody was asking you and I, do men come to this workout? And we were like, yeah, but they're mostly professional athletes. I mean, we had that whole run with the Panthers coming in, some of the soccer players coming in. But regular guys don't come and stick that much. Regular guys, you know what I'm saying? They're not professional athletes. No, they're not professional athletes.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is only professional athletes who are men can come to the studio or can do the workout.
Here's my theory.
Do tell. Clarify.
This is not about dissing men who are not professional athletes. This is about the fact that professional athletes understand their body, the importance of movement, the importance of safe movement. And they're also, this is what they do, they're not intimidated to see a 120-pound woman be able to hold an iron cross with a 30-pound weight longer than they can, because they understand the fact that their body is built out of larger muscles than women have. And so the movements we do are incredible for them.
Sure.
And they know it. And I really love it when any man comes in there. But it is a treat to hear what the professional athletes have to say.
That's a huge testament that a professional athlete would, vouch and testify for your workout. I mean, I think says a lot in the capacity of specifically cross training and total body and safety and all of that. And it's just fun.
It is fun. And so anyway, I think that's important that everybody know this is not just for women. It's for men too. So bring in your partner. If it is a man, it will be one of those things that is like humbling, and some of them really don't like that. And I don't blame them. Being humbled is no fun sometimes by your partner that's half your size, and she's like going, "What's the problem? You can't hold them. You can't stand on one foot and hold these 2-3 pound weights."
True.
So it'll be fun.
That'll
no matter
be
what, guys. We do have beer, don't we? Don't we have some kind of? We shouldn't talk about alcohol anymore. I mean, we just should not. Day. We're not going to talk about alcohol. We don't know what we have, but y'all just show up anyway. We'll see. It'll be a surprise.
Let's get some juices.
Juices. There's a thought. Yes.
Healthy.
Smoothies at night. Ew. No.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah. That's your daytime fare, right?
Oh my goodness.
So lots of cool things are going on at the studio, and lots of cool things are going on with me and you. And
tell me. Yeah. Tell me what.
I don't know. I never know what you got in store for me. You keep surprising me.
I know, right?
Trips to Sedona, and we've got a lot of. I don't know. Our life is
that was really fun. Remember when we recorded a podcast in Sedona?
Yes.
And our producers were like, "This doesn't sound good." And I really don't know at this point. We did it off my phone, so it was maybe sound quality, but you were in a very zen state.
Okay,
and
we were both.
You more.
Well, okay, we were on top of these mountains where the vortexes and that energy was spinning, and I didn't feel like I was in my body. I literally did.
It was really cool.
It was.
Let's just talk about it for a minute, because we didn't release that podcast.
No, we didn't.
We left that to
and
dust.
When we finished it, we went, "Wow, that was really great." And then we did another record. We did 2 more recordings, sort of as a beginner and an end. And it was about the feeling and the spirituality of the moment of being in nature, which we all know nature just is where our natural habitat just like feeds our soul. And we were feeling it, weren't we?
We really were. I mean, so you mentioned vortexes. Another term is, what'd you say, ley lines?
Ley lines.
Yeah.
Right.
So natural places in the world where energy is higher, I guess. And you can look at it as masculine energy, feminine energy. Some of these places where they've found and label vortexes can be a little more one than the other. They can be very balanced in both. Also, the vortexes can feel very grounding or very highly elevated. And so the one where we went the most, right at the property where we stayed, was a very balanced one. There was a rock structure called the Warrior, and another rock structure facing it, 100 yards or so, called Kachina Woman. And then when we stand, it's like to explain it, for me, the way it felt was once you get to the area where it's known to be, my fingers started to tingle a little bit. And you just feel a little.
Didn't you say your feet and your fingers? See, I felt it from top to bottom and just spinning. I
you felt that all spinning.
Over. As a matter of fact, it was, have we not already, we did it on the podcast. We keep feeling like we're repeating ourselves.
We are, but not
we
were
walking up this mountain before any coffee in the morning, before really just some water. And we wanted to go before we put anything in our body to really be sort of pure.
Right.
And to feel like, what is this? I had never been where they had a so-called vortex. I'd been on ley lines all over England and things like that. And so as we were walking up, you were a little bit ahead of me and you turned around and we simultaneously went, Woo. We can't breathe and it is so hot we can't stand it. Now the wind was blowing, it was 20 degrees.
Yeah.
Or if that, it was in the teens.
It was in the 20s.
Okay, but it was cold.
Right.
And we just went, get these scarves off, get all these gloves off.
Yeah. That was like part elevation and then kind of entering the area. And,
yes.
And when you go up, there's usually juniper trees, which are native to that area, but when they're near a vortex, the trunks and the branches are all very twisty,
beautiful,
like
beautiful.
Circular.
Yeah,
it's very cool,
and
because of that energy.
right.
pulling them that way.
You can feel it. So, don't listen to us, or do listen to us, but try it for yourself. I mean, there's actually vortexes in Mount Mitchell here in North Carolina.
Because we looked that up. Surely there are more near to us.
But
And Mount Mitchell has got some.
I want to speak a little bit about how we both were sort of drawn. Yeah. Because the minute I got up, we didn't realize this at the point, but we were both standing between the male and female energy, meaning the yin and the yang. I think everybody understands what that means. The interesting part about this energy was that I feel like my natural life energy rolls a little more yang. Yeah. A little bit more, not like a man, but I hope you can understand that. Just more of a force, yang, that sort of thing. I was so drawn to the feminine energy on top of this mountain, and you went the other way. You went to the warrior, and literally it's called the warrior. I mean, I feel very warrior energy a lot. That's me, who I am.
Well, so maybe you weren't walking away from that. You were looking at it, right? Because you were back to the woman statue on the feminine side.
The first thing I did was just put my hands against this piece of rock. And then I just put my back on it, and I felt like a lizard on a rock,
You looked like one.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm good. I can be here the rest of the day.
And we were for about 3 hours.
Really? Yeah, we were. Yeah. So it's fascinating. And just being in nature, you're going to feel these natural energies, and they're all over. But when they're really concentrated, you can't help but feel them.
Well, it helped that we were in the desert with the sun beaming down on us, just looking at beautiful the world as it is. And I caught myself getting really judgy because there was a group of girls who came up because, thanks to Instagram, we get to know about all these special secret places.
Well, we did put it on our Instagram too.
No, of course. But also, I mean, people go for the photo op, and you're going, do you notice like what's around? Like, are you seeing it in present time, being very loud, like and photo shooting and taking off their clothes and turning it around?
I was with my girl.
So it was hard for me to kind of shut that out and not judge it.
That's all right.
And kind of just be quiet in my space.
But
so I recognized that.
I was totally comfortable. I was just like leaning up against my rock.
You're starting to sound like as zen as you were.
I'm going there. I'm going because I can still feel that energy,
which is so amazing.
I really did. I teared up when the guy also came up the mountain and handed Lee and are we sure we hadn't talked about this on the podcast?
We haven't,
because we talked about it and then we couldn't use the podcast.
We didn't use it, and then we had our interview with Lucy last week and we did not talk about it then.
Okay.
So you may talk about it.
And then you got to interrupt me because I'll go on a tangent.
Please. Let's see what happens, y'all. Buckle up.
We had just finished the podcast, or we were starting the podcast.
So we went up there, hung out. All the people were up there. We waited for them to kind of go so we could kind of quietly
the two places in between the feminine and the male energy. You could feel it. Everybody could feel it.
So then we were up for a while longer, and we kind of started to get up to move and go.
Right.
And we saw a man come up and talk to another group.
Right. So we were listening because everything he was saying was like, wow, I want to listen to what he's saying about this vortex energy. He was very knowledgeable. Also, very cheerful and buoyant. Very joyful, buoyant personality. Like his body bounced instead of walked. He just was happy.
Truly.
He was also 71 years old, he told us, right?
So tall, in shape.
Yes. And he comes up to us, hands us, we're just here on this rock, 2 hearts. He gave me one, he gave you one. It looked like he had made them out of granite. I don't know where
right out of the mountain.
Right out of the mountain. And this was not weird. It was not anything but absolute pure love. And he started talking to us about power and about love and about acceptance and all these things. And the power we carry, meaning me and you, individually as well as together. So I'm sitting there going, did he come out of thin air? Where did this guy come from? And so then he goes,
choked up when he was talking.
I couldn't.
For sure.
I was like deer in headlights. Yes, but tears were streaming. When you are in the presence of people really speaking from their heart and speaking love and truth, and I'm going to tell you something. This is not woo-woo. This was real. This guy was speaking heart truth. And we were both kind of in tears, not boohooing tears, but just like they were streaming down our face. And then he goes, by the way, I'm going to climb up on top of the warrior, meaning the warrior rock mountain, and I'm going to play my Reiki flute. And we're like,
what?
well, that's pretty
Yes,
high.
please.
And there's no really way to get there,
Uh-huh.
Well, that didn't matter to him. He scurried up this rock
like a mountain goat.
A mountain goat, yes. Like he just went straight up. And he gets up there, he pulls his flute out, and he said, and he called on, the spirits or what, and he did all these things, sort of a ritual. And then he said, I'm going to play my flute about courage.
Whatever. He would pick
a subject. And then one time he forgot where he was, and he said, what was I going to do? And Lee goes, there's like 10 of us mesmerized listening to this. We're all in different parts of this vortex. And he goes, you were going to talk about oneness. And I'm like, I'm so glad I'm with Lee.
Play about, right? Yeah, I could see him. He didn't remember what he had just played to go to the next.
He was just in his trance. Right. It was crazy.
And so it was oneness, it was joy, it was courage, it was healing. It was, he did 8 songs and he'd shake his flute out and then go again. And then I had a freak out moment because one of the hikers started moving closer to him, and then between songs, she just sprinted up the mountain too. And I was like, I'm not here for watching people fall off cliffs and die in this beautiful spiritual moment. But I knew he could do it, and I could tell she could do it, but I was like, no,
I had no worries. She was floating like an angel up there.
We all know how important it is to fuel yourself just right every morning. Liz, what's your jet fuel?
It's the HSM smoothie, of course.
Obviously.
But also, I've got a new little thing.
You've got a new friend? From Sakara Life, the Metabolism Super Powder is your go-to. It fires up your metabolism, curbs sugar cravings, helps ease bloat, and is it delicious?
Oh, it's so good, especially in your coffee. It's got a great taste.
Dump it in the coffee, blend it up and go.
Dump it in the coffee, blend it, and be excited because you're going to love
it. Y'all go to sakaralife.com. When you check out, you'll receive 20% off your order, which is a great deal by using the code XOLizHSM. That's XOLIZHSM for 20% off your order at sakaralife.com.
There was just something about that.
Yeah,
that energy.
Nothing would have happened.
And just in case you don't know what Reiki is, some of us, you might not know what that is. It's a healing touch, sort of a hands-on working with energies of the body that people regularly practice here in Charlotte, all over the place. And he said to us, I decided one day to come play my music and call it my Reiki flute so that I could heal people and the earth and the world. And he said, well, I'll be darned, or whatever he said. He didn't say that.
I'll be darned.
But he was so shocked. He goes, but I did it. And he was surprising himself.
Exactly.
So he's a regular on top of the warrior. Anyway, it's worth going. He's a regular Reiki flute healer that gets on top of this mountain.
And we were lucky enough to see it.
Yeah. So I would say the surprises of life lately have just been so vast and it's all tied in together, spiritual.
I think so too. I mean, that was what I was going to say. Why? Why do you think? It's that awareness, that tuning in, that synchronicity, that kind of see what's happening and then to see what kind of energy you're putting out, what's coming back, and to kind of evaluate that.
And the more you see, the more of the good energy, and again, I don't label good and bad, but the higher energy that you put forward, that energy comes back to you higher,
for sure,
more than twofold. And so that's what was going on with us. Lots of synchronicity. And that's always a sign that you're working more on your own soul level. Like you are aligned with your spirit. So I thought that was one of the most impressive,
for sure,
beautiful 4 or 5 day trips. And it was a surprise to me, as we said. And it was just like, God, what a birthday.
I mean, talk about, I don't know, synchronicity is not the right word, but I was making you guess. Did we do this on the podcast too?
I don't know. We don't know. We're probably
it's all bleeding together. No, I was making you guess where we were going every day.
I think we did do this on the last podcast. If we did, we'll just cut it out of this.
Okay, go ahead. I'm making you guess where I was going to take you for your birthday, and you would do 3 guesses, and then we talked about it a couple before because I spoiled it. Remember when I said, when we get to the gate, you knew we were flying.
Yeah.
So the Friday before we left, it was your birthday. We had an intuitive reader here for having people over for your birthday. And at the end of the night, she was hanging out with us. So party over, a couple of us were talking and hanging out. And I think it was just that energy that opened up the channels in the room or something. Yeah. Because I did it again, say, where do you think we're going? And you're like, I don't care.
I just said, you know what, Lee, I'm tired of your games. I don't want to guess. Because if I guess, you're not going to tell me. Besides, we're going to Sedona. And she looked at me like, what? Who told you that? And I said, I don't know. I just said it. And it was really interesting, wasn't it? It just kind of like came. I didn't think about it. It just was like, oh, I'm going to Sedona. So I thought that was interesting.
So cool.
So we've been really into the energies and the spirit and and it all again is the physical it's just what we're showing of our spiritual.
Right, the manifestation of that spirituality within us.
Can't separate us.
The one that we didn't do, the vortex and the hike that we did not do in Sedona, because that freaked me out. I'm like sweaty palm thinking about that too, besides the woman falling off the leprechaun rock, is there's a private airport at the top of a mountain
All
there.
the stars flying there.
Probably, not us. And there's a vortex there.
Yeah.
Like how tricky is that to land and take off in a vortex? And the way that it looked like the hike was going to go to get up there was kind of around this circular edge of the mountain. And we got about 5 feet. And I went, absolutely not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's probably because we were hiking in heels.
I was not hiking in heels. Okay. I have these great boots that
have a heel.
They have a heel, but they've got tread.
They're really good.
And they're waterproof and they're filled with fur. And I'm going to tell you, there was not a warm day that we had in Sedona. It was cold. So I just was totally comfortable. And remember we hiked up to one of the other birthing cave or whatever. And this woman looked at me and went, "You're wearing heels." I'm like, "Not really." She goes, "Kind of really,
Yeah.
Well,
technically,
there's
yes.
like 2 inches, but they were so comfy.
You won't see us in hiking boots. We refuse.
That's
funny. Not fashionable.
It was just the perfect boot. I wear these boots to the studio. I wear them to Sedona. I wear them. And one of them's just covered.
To the Grand Canyon.
Oh, God. And we were walking that one day and Lee fell flat out in a mud puddle. You were head to toe mud.
And it snowed the week before we arrived. Yeah. And so there were some areas of that red clay that were red mud.
Yeah.
And I was kind of going up sideways.
It's so hard not to laugh at you. I
know.
try to be compassionate.
I don't care.
But I laughed so hard.
I didn't eat the dust, but I got a little muddy.
You came close. Your braces just about had it in there,
You can't go a podcast without talking about the braces. I was trying. Oh my gosh. Well, you lost your earmuffs every time I turned around.
Yeah,
and they
true.
would stay on the trail.
That's true.
No, they never got lost.
Never got lost.
One time when we did go up to the birthing cave, we popped out.
They're all going to the birthing cave.
What? There's a part of the mountain
vortex,
where you walk around through the mud, then you go up really fast to the top, and it's scooped out. Yeah. So
I got there in high heels.
You've got the visual, and you sit in it and look out at the beautiful nature. So that's why it's called the birthing cave. And we went on our descent.
Yeah, on our descent. We got
really
hiking.
Lost.
We
were fairly lost.
Well, we were in all kinds of unknown. We had this guy that told us, if you see a trail that's no one's taken, take it. So I guess we were taking him.
We took it. So at one point we popped out and this older man turned and he just goes, "Where'd you come from?" Like, we don't know where we came from.
We don't know. Is the road
we're
that
glad
way?
We're back on this path. And we weren't worried. I mean, I
felt like we were wandering in fairyland. Like, we had been kidnapped by the fairies and time had altered and now we weren't going to know what day.
That is woo-woo drama right there.
We sound so woo-woo. They've already hung up on us by now, But
probably.
We're not. We're just telling you that spirit and physical, we're all the same thing. And gosh, your body feels good once you get out there and you really let it move around in nature. And
for sure. So we went, here's the itinerary. You fly to Phoenix.
I don't know that they want to know the
Yeah, some people do.
I mean, this
you
is
rent a car
travel log.
And you drive to Sedona and then you stay at the Enchantment.
Yes.
Off season.
Oh, yes.
Which is still very nice.
It's so
And the food was very good. Mm-hmm. And we canceled different reservations for dinner because it was so good.
We never left the campus.
And because you're coming East Coast to West Coast, that 2-hour time change was very beneficial.
Yes.
Because we would have never woken up before the sun.
That's right.
But if you're out there, you have to wake up with the sun.
We got up every morning and we hiked or we did something. And we did it before we did coffee or food, which is so unusual. And do something that's unusual for yourself. I mean, there's the beauty of, I don't think you actually have to travel, but when you do travel, you can get outside of yourself. I'm one of those, and I'm usually Lee and I are in a really fancy place, and I'm like, I'm getting some room service and my coffee before I
before
whatever.
noon.
And no, I just went, no.
Yeah, we're not doing
We're going to
that.
go hiking with water and nothing, no food. We're going. And we come back, then we'd have these massive lunches or breakfasts or whatever.
It was really good. 4 nights was great.
Yeah.
And then we drove back. It's just a beautiful part of the country. And I'm glad we got to go.
I am too.
Happy birthday. It's over.
Thank you.
No more you.
I know. No, it's good. And next up is yours in May 19th, everyone.
Oh,
So be
she
ready.
knows it.
Yes, of course I know your birthday.
I know, but still.
I know everything about you.
That's
Pretty
true.
much, almost.
Tell us one thing that no one knows about me. Ooh, this is
one
good.
thing that no one knows about you.
Yeah, but that you know.
Oh gosh.
Is there anything?
Wait a minute, I'm not sure what I'm allowed to talk about.
Let's be appropriate.
Okay, appropriate.
I mean, just about who I am. I don't know.
Oh gosh.
Any tendencies or habits or
Well, if everyone knows Lee is sensitive, right?
right?
And everyone but you don't know that the steel. I mean, you're made out of steel too.
Oh,
You're like,
yeah.
and no. I mean, when you come in strong with, no, we're not doing that. Or I want you to stop, Liz, right now. You know when you do that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm always shocked because I go, oh yeah, I forgot. That's in there. She's in there too. There is this like strict, as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell one more story.
Ahead.
When we were in Paris one time, a couple of years ago, this is another drinking story. We sound like drunks and woo-woo people, right?
Oh,
But
my
anyway,
God.
we were in our hotel. We were going to this fabulous chamber
Incredible.
orchestra for only like 75 people at the most or less in this gorgeous church.
Saint Chapelle, which is known for
Saint Chapelle.
its stained glass, full windows.
So beautiful. We had front row seats. Okay. So, I'm like, wait, come on, let's have a glass of champagne before we go to this church, right? You're not going to a church without a glass of champagne. At least that's my rule. And so we go, but then we get a little bit late because we are having a good time. We always have so much fun.
He's like,
we're laughing, we're having a good
more.
time. And you're like, oh, crud, we have got to fly. We have got to get out of here now. And you put on and we're going now because that's when the steel comes out. And we get to this beautiful place. I'm wearing new sandals that have like a snake thing wrapping up my leg, and it gets caught on a step. We are rushing up the steps. There's 2 minutes till this thing starts. We're sitting on the front row. We're never going to make it. They're going to close the doors. She's running ahead of me, turning around going, what is it you said? Come on, tell him.
I don't know. Like,
You're like,
we always have to.
You're like, this is so typical.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is so typical. We just make ourselves late because we just have to have a glass of wine. I'm like, you sound like the meanest school teacher ever. I laughed so hard I cried. And then she's being real priss and the shoulders are going and she's shaking her tail feather and she's looking at me like I'm a piece of junk on the floor. She's like, you just better hurry up. We get there and then she becomes like
on
a
the brakes.
spider on the wall. Like she sees like the people in charge and all of a sudden she's gone from I am in charge and large to I am terrified.
I want to disappear.
I was invisible. And I'm like,
don't you need to keep
don't
moving?
we need to keep moving to our seats? She's like, oh my God, they're never going to let us in. I walked right up to the guy. I'm like, look, we're right here. Here's the tickets. He goes, you just made it. We go and sit down and we laughed the entire performance, but we also enjoyed it.
Not out loud, but we
We
really
were just
had
like
the
one of
church
those,
giggles.
just
the
the shoulders
whole
moving and people were
time.
like, could y'all like calm down a minute?
I know, it was really funny. And now it's made for a really good
So
story.
I
And
was
we'll never
supposed-
forget that moment.
So that's you. That is your steal.
okay.
And then all of a sudden you like flip back into this like, oh my God, I'm just so nobody. I'm afraid somebody will like talk to me or look at me. And I'm like, what is it with you? You know?
Who knows?
Yeah. There's a lot of good things about
I'm
you.
very, great depth.
She does have great depth. She's also, and I told this to somebody else today.
No, just one thing.
Today.
What else?
You're good at almost everything you do. That's true. Maybe y'all don't know that. She could go, I think I'm going to be a cello player.
I would feel miserably.
And within 6 months, she'd probably be trying out for the Philharmonic. I don't know.
I think that's a really kind
That's a
exaggeration.
stretch. That is a stretch. But you're really
I like
very
the
smart.
sentiment
and you're
behind that, and I appreciate that.
Well, it's not sentiment. I've watched you move. I've watched you operate in the world. You have everything. You just roll in like I'm just little Lee. And then you go, wait a minute. Whoa, where'd she go? That's not her. Who you are is a really strong human.
Thank you.
Oh, It's just the truth. Thank you. And
Thanks.
you're welcome.
Well, I think you bring that out in me a lot.
Yeah, well, good. I'm glad I can be the culprit because you also make me
Aren't you
laugh
glad?
when you go back and forth between the two.
I sound a little like Jekyll and Hyde.
No, it's just fun. The dynamic between the two of us. I mean,
it's pretty good.
Yeah. I know that people look at us, there's so many ways we're an odd couple. I mean,
We
just
are.
so many ways. But people always assume I'm the one that's like,
Iron Fist.
yeah, it's
Nah.
not the truth. It's
Nah.
like you're like, am I
I got
doing
this.
I'm doing this now. And you're late, by the way, again.
I don't know
But
what to
also
say.
with a really
That's
sweet
it.
look.
I don't know. We're so odd. We're even.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like that. We're so odd, we're even.
Yeah, we're so odd. We're even.
Yeah.
Oh, just titled the podcast.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
there it is. There it is. Little roll of the dice. So odd, you're even, baby.
On that note, we're gonna
Yeah.
roll the dice right on out of here. And
Are we
get
really?
you
Are we
some
already done?
Water.
Okay, I know am kind of parched. I'm not sure I'll ever touch alcohol again. Pretty much.
Said the
Pretty sure that's not going to happen.
I'll pour you a glass in a minute.
Nope, you
Y'all
will
have a
not.
great night. Happy Valentine's.
Happy
I love
Valentine's.
you, my Valentine.
I love you too. Happy Valentine's to you and your people, and enjoy.
And adios.
Adios, amigos. Thanks for listening to us today, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can now find our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. If you liked it, please share, rate, and review. We love 5 stars. And we hope you'll work out with us online or in studio at HilliardStudioMethod.com.